administration, faculty and staff, alumni, relatives and friends of the graduates, and most especially the class of 1995, I welcome you to these commencement exercises. In welcoming you, I want to acknowledge in a special way the hard work, sacrifice, encouragement, and support of mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, children, and other family members and friends who have helped to bring each graduate to the fulfillment and achievement of today. With the degrees awarded today, the total number of degrees awarded by Emmanuel College is 13,500. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Sister Janet Eisner, SND, 12th President of Emmanuel College, who will address the graduates. Sister Janet. Members of the corporation and board of trustees, honorary degree recipients, faculty, administrators, and alumni joining us today from the classes of 1925 through 1994, some of you wearing the same academic robe which you wore on your graduation day, and most especially parents, family, and guests of our graduates. It is a privilege to welcome you to the 73rd commencement exercises of Emmanuel College. Congratulations to all who will receive diplomas today in a ceremony so rich in tradition. Congratulations first to the 18 students receiving master's degrees today. Your degree represents a new level of excellence for you. The master's hood in blue and gold, which you will receive, is the symbol of your achievement at Emmanuel College. Congratulations to new graduates from the Adult Learner programs. Your diplomas represent your successful completion of courses and for many of you, the successful management of a full-time career and family responsibilities as well. Women and men graduating from our Adult Learner programs, you speak eloquently of your Emmanuel education, saying, I came for a degree and found so much more in the spirit and support of classmates and teachers. The flexibility is what made it possible for me to achieve my goal. The individual intention is what sets Emmanuel apart. Today we celebrate your accomplishments and your continued membership in the Emmanuel family. Congratulations to the members of the class of 1995 who graduate from our traditional program. Emmanuel is so proud of you and all that you have become over the past 4 years, all that you have accomplished and all the promise that your lives hold for the future, and your parents believe this as well. Over 1/3 of you expect to enter graduate programs in the immediate future, including doctoral programs in mathematics and pursuing master's degrees in such areas as art history, art therapy, social work, clinical counseling, biology, and broadcast journalism. Emmanuel's internship program, in which 90% of you participated, has opened opportunities for employment to several of you. Graduates of all our programs, you experience the reality of Emmanuel's mission, namely to educate students in a dynamic learning environment shaped by a liberal arts curriculum and the perspective of women's experience and rooted in strong human values and a Catholic heritage. You receive your diplomas today. In the year Emmanuel has celebrated its 75th anniversary. When the Sisters of Notre Dame opened Emmanuel College in 1919, did they and the early classes of the 1920s and 30s imagine the gatherings on campus this weekend and remembers the joys and heartaches of student days during World War II, will they remember thinking that by the 1990s, this campus would educate students from 50 countries around the world? As the reunion classes of the 50s, 60s, and 70s pioneered in opening new opportunities for women in law, medicine, business, science, and technology, did they dream that in the 75th anniversary year, their college would launch a technology network in partnership with IBM, which would connect Emmanuel to the world? For it is truly the lives of the graduates of Emmanuel of the past 75 years that we have celebrated all year long. They are people of accomplishment in every field of endeavor. They are women who have raised families of children in whom they instill sound Catholic values. Above all, the Emmanuel graduates are people of conviction, of compassion, and of conscience, who live out the values they learned at their alma mater, and they have given us a wonderful heritage. Class of 1995, your opportunities are many and your challenges are great. As you graduate at commencement, we place before you honorary degree recipients to encourage you to believe that it is possible to fulfill your dreams and to reach out to others. This commencement, Emmanuel awards 4 honorary degrees. John Hamill, president of Fleet Bank, exemplifies a strong social conscience in his outstanding service and leadership in the great Boston community. Dr. Thomas Durant, assistant director of Massachusetts General Hospital and member of our board of trustees for 12 years, has spent his life serving the world community by providing medical training to some of the most abandoned areas and refugee camps in the world. Sister Ellen Gilty, general moderator of the Sisters of Notre Dame, exemplifies a dedicated educator as she provides leadership and vision to the congregation of women religious in ministry around the world. Bernard Cardinal Law, Archbishop of Boston, who will receive his honorary degree tomorrow, represents courageous spiritual and moral leadership. May the lives of these honorary degree recipients who share this degree day with you inspire you and give you courage to pursue your quests and your dreams. Class of 1995, Emmanuel College sends you forth as the graduates of the past 75 years have influenced the life of the 20th century. We call on you, the class of 1995, to be the critical thinkers, ethical decision makers, and contributing members of society for the 21st century. May you create a new world of justice and love, and may Emmanuel, our God with us, stay with you throughout your lives. I wish you Godspeed. It is my pleasure to call on Ellen McAdam, president of the class of 1995, who will speak on behalf of the graduates. Some a little more, some a little less. During our time, we You've made it to the final week. You've completed your full circle of life, Emmanuel. But what happens now? Where do you go from here? I would love to help you answer these questions, but I don't have all the answers. The closest I can come would be to share with you some of the words that Dr. Seuss used at a graduation that he spoke at a few years ago. Because like Dr. Seuss, I believe you are ready to go on. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the person who will decide where you go. You look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. And you may not find any who want to go down. In that case, you'll head right out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and pussy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't sue. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar at high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole game, and you'll soon pass the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true. The bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your game will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from a lurch with an unpleasant slump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in too much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You can get so confused that you'll start into race, down long little roads of breaknecking pace, and grinding 100 miles across weird wild space. Headed right there, the most secret place, the waiting place. No, that's not for you. Somebody will escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the right place where the boom bands are playing. With banners are clapping, with blow you ride high, ready for anything under the sky. All the places you go, there's fun to be done. There are points to be scored, there are games to be won. And the magical thing you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame! You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you're playing against you. All alone, whether you like it or not. Alone will be something to be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between here and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far, and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And you will succeed. Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. So be it Stephanie, Mazaki, or Jay, or Eileen, Katie, Josephine, O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. That's right, you say to yourself. I am ready for this. I've worked hard. I know what I'm looking for, and I deserve to get it. With one glance behind you, you see the reassuring look of the people who have helped you on your way. Thank you is all you can manage to say. With one quick movement, you open the gate and slip outside. One circle of your life closes, but only so another may begin. Congratulations! Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. The citation will be read by John B. Cusack, Associate Professor of History at Emmanuel College. Dr. Durant, will you please come forward?
Teacher, hospital administrator, Emmanuel College trustee, rugby player, humanitarian. A lifelong resident of Dorchester, Massachusetts, you attended St. Mark's Grammar School where you learned geography from the Sisters of Notre Dame. English High School where you were trained in urban survival. Boston College where you were introduced to politics, Jesuit style. Georgetown University where you studied medicine. And the Harvard School of Public Health where you experienced politics, Princeton style. After a residency at Boston City Hospital, you practiced obstetrics and gynecology in Dorchester until 1966. When you went to Vietnam to be Chief Public Health Advisor until 1968. Returning to Boston, you became Assistant General Director of the Massachusetts General Hospital. At the same time, you served as a consultant to committees of the United States House of Representatives and the United States Senate, which were studying refugee conditions in Southeast Asia. During the 1970s, you began to volunteer your services annually to provide medical assistance to refugees in the war-torn areas of the world. Beginning in Cambodia, your volunteer work in the last 25 years has taken you to Vietnam, Afghanistan, Ethiopia, Iraq, Somalia, Bosnia, Zaire, and Rwanda, where you have continued the tradition of humanitarians such as Dr. Livingstone, Schweitzer, Dooley, and Dunn. During this time, you have also served your city, the nation, and your global community by serving as a director or trustee of Women and Infant Centers, Catholic Charities, the American Refugee Committee, and the Freedom Medicine Organization. Recently, you identified yourself as the oldest active rugby player in the eastern United States. The English have a saying, soccer is a game played by gentlemen for the entertainment of hooligans, while rugby is a game played by hooligans for the entertainment of gentlemen. Which are you, Dr. Do you belong on this stage or in the scrum? Edmund Spencer directed us to the proper answer when he wrote, "The gentle man by gentle deeds is known." St. Gregory gave us further guidance when in his musings on the Christian gentleman in the 6th century he wrote, "He that has a talent, let him hide it not. He that has abundance, let him quicken himself to mercy and generosity. He that has art and skill, let him do his best to share the use of utility thereof with his neighbors." By such criteria, Dr. Durant, your neighbors in the global community, from Bosnia to Cambodia, from Zaire to Vietnam, from Brighton to Dorchester, we judge you to be the finest type of gentleman, as does Emmanuel College. In recognition of your remarkable commitment to the global community, and with gratitude for your outstanding service to the Emmanuel community as trustee for the last 12 years, Emmanuel College is privileged to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honored
virtue of the powers delegated to Emmanuel College by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Emmanuel College, I confer upon Dr. Thomas F. Duran the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges that pertain thereto.
Michael Daly, Chair of the Board of Trustees, will confer the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws on John P. Hamill. The citation will be read by Thomas F. Wall, Professor of Philosophy at Emmanuel College. Mr. Hamill, will you please come forward?
Educated at the College of the Holy Cross and New York University School of Law, you began your illustrious banking career in 1965 at Chemical Bank, New York. By 1978, you had become the President and Chief Executive Officer of Bank One Corporation, and 2 years later joined the Shawman Corporation as Executive Vice President, becoming its Chief Executive Officer in 1988. In 1992, you were named President of Fleet Bank of Massachusetts. These achievements are themselves worthy of celebration, but it is especially for the good that you have accomplished through your positions of influence and for your exemplary service to others, mirroring the mission of Emmanuel, that the college honors you today. The long list of your board memberships bears witness to your outstanding commitment to community service. Currently, you serve as chairman of the board of Pathways Health Network, parent corporation of the Deaconess and New England Baptist Hospitals. You are a trustee of your alma mater, the College of the Holy Cross, as well as of the Wang Center for the Performing Arts and the Boston Bar Foundation. You are an overseer of the Boston Symphony Orchestra and the Museum of Fine Arts. You are a director and member of the Executive Committee for the United Way of Massachusetts and chairman of the Board of Advisors to the Boston Organizing Committee, a group of New England business and community leaders whose objective is to bring the Summer Olympics to Boston. Your social conscience has led you to serve the most needy in your community. Under your leadership, Fleet Bank has become the leading inner-city home mortgage lender and substantially increased lending for inner-city small business. Your commitment to improving the life in Boston, especially the lives of the most vulnerable, is especially evident in your chairmanship of the Challenge to Leadership, which brings together Boston's most influential business, religious, educational, labor, and government leaders in order to improve the lives of Boston's children by focusing on educational and economic opportunities, as well as violence prevention. I can't imagine you would have any time to play rugby. Personally, you are a loving husband and father of 4 daughters, a devout Catholic, a man of character, integrity, compassion, and conscience. In recognition of these qualities, and for your outstanding civic leadership and your distinguished career, Emmanuel College is privileged to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
John, by virtue of the powers delegated to Emmanuel College by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and on behalf of the Board of Direct Trustees of Emmanuel College, I confer upon John P. Hamill the degree of Doctor
by Sister Janet Eisner, SMD, President of Emmanuel College. Sister Ellen, would you please come forward? Sister Ellen Gilsey, General Moderator of the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur, educator and women of vision. You give excellent leadership to the Sisters of Notre Dame as they carry out their mission in 16 countries on 5 continents. As a member of the Executive Committee of the Union of International Superiors General in Rome, you influence greatly the life of the church and religious congregations around the world. I graduated Glasgow University with a special certificate from Notre Dame College in Scotland. You also hold a Master of Arts degree in Educational Research from Lancaster University. A dedicated teacher, you were the founder and principal of the first Notre Dame mission in Nigeria in 1963. We at Emmanuel feel a special bond with you since last year Emmanuel College launched the African Education Project in Nigeria in collaboration with the Sisters of Notre Dame. Your recognition and love of the important role of teacher education is rooted in your years as lecturer and as assistant principal at Emmanuel Sister College in Darwin Hill and later in Bearsden in Scotland. For 6 years, you worked as educational consultant in an institute dedicated to adult Christian education which served 8 dioceses in England. Sister Ellen, you are a woman of vision who looks to the future and acts. We recognize your courage in calling the Sisters of Notre Dame to an international assembly in South Africa in the tumultuous year before apartheid was abolished. Encouraged by the experience of CISO, an African word for gathering, you challenged the Sisters of the First World to share their resources with the African and Latin American missions and to rediscover a new partnership and interdependence. St. Julie Villard, founder of the Sisters of Notre Dame, kept her young congregation united, sharing what little they had with each other and with the poor by traveling difficult journeys amid Napoleonic wars and by handwriting hundreds of letters each year to the sisters in France and Belgium. Sister Ellen Gilsey, with laptop in hand, connected by fax and modem and America Online, you travel across 5 continents with technology-based communication for this age. Your profound understanding and love for the Notre Dame charism, the congregation's legacy from St. Julie, inspires your leadership and your vision. I invite the Sisters of Notre Dame to now stand. Emmanuel College recognizes with deep affection and appreciation the continuous service of the Sisters of Notre Dame to Emmanuel College over the past 75 years. As Sisters of Notre Dame, we continue to journey together in hope, recreated by the gospel message to proclaim to our time, as Julie Villard did to hers, that God is good. Sister Ellen Gilsey, in recognition of your lifelong commitment to education and of your leadership of the Sisters of Notre Dame and their legacy to Emmanuel, this college today is privileged to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Sister Ellen, by virtue of powers delegated to Emmanuel College by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Emmanuel College, I confer upon Sister Ellen Gilsey, SND, the degree of Doctor of Human Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges
Corporation and Board of Trustees, Sisters of Notre Dame, faculty, administrative staff, students, parents, honored guests, friends, and dear graduates of this great day. I was greatly honored to be asked to be the guest speaker at this commencement, closing the celebrations marking 75 years of liberal education at Emmanuel College. It is a very special pleasure for me to participate in this ceremony in view of my own commitment to education over a career lasting 35 years, and also as general moderator of a congregation with a rich history in educational tradition. In the name of the congregation of the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur, I congratulate Emmanuel College on 75 years of educational excellence. And now, I myself am privileged to be the recipient of the honorary degree just conferred on me. Little did I think, when I first heard the name of Emmanuel College about 50 years ago, when I was a young girl in a Notre Dame school in Scotland, that I one day would be considered for such a distinction. I'm no stranger to Emmanuel College because I first visited here in 1968 when I was a visiting lecturer at another of our sister colleges, the College of Notre Dame in Belmont, in California. I have been to Emmanuel many times since, but during February of this year, I revisited Emmanuel and met personally the student government of this graduating class of 1995. What impressed me deeply was that commencement day was seen by them as an achievement for everyone. Such was the genuine interest each one had in every other member of the class. It is to this remarkable graduating class that I speak today, and to their proud families and friends who encouraged, sponsored, and supported them through the sunshine and shadow of their years of study and through today's rain. Today is for all of you a day of joy, because you have attained a long cherished goal. But it is also a day of some sadness, because you are about to leave many friends. As your commencement speaker, I hope to add to your joy as a visitor from Rome, as a sister of Notre Dame, and as an educator. Coming as I do from Rome carries its own special significance. Rome, as you know, is a capital city of the world, steeped in history. It is also the heart of the Catholic Church. Any visitor to Rome has to admit this, no matter how grudgingly. This city, it seems, is always full of visitors, not just tourists, but pilgrims who come as believers. I, however, you might say, I am a pilgrim in reverse. As thousands of pilgrims come to Rome, I leave Rome to go on pilgrimage to the many places where Sisters of Notre Dame are at the service of the people of God and of the Church. To come here for today's commencement, I left an international session of Superiors General and will return to another, which will be attended by nearly 900 Superiors General from every part of the world. So I am, literally speaking, a jet-setting pilgrim to Boston. But I ask myself the question, what wisdom
stand for persons and places where life is weak and defenseless. The Holy Father observed that, in addition to the ancient scourges of poverty, hunger, endemic disease, violence, and wars, new threats to life are emerging on an alarmingly vast scale. These threats include the growing practice of euthanasia for the sick and elderly, and suicide among the young. The culture of death stalking our world today must be confronted with the creation of an alternative culture of life that respects human dignity from conception to the moment of death. The world of peace and response to the gospel of life, which marvelously fulfills all the heart's expectations while infinitely surpassing them. Calling on women to promote a new feminism not based on models of male domination, the Holy Father appeals to women to continue to play a unique and decisive role in transforming culture so that it supports life. In the struggle between the culture of life and the culture of death that Pope asserts, there is need to develop a deep, critical sense, capable of discerning true values and authentic needs. Graduates of 1995, how can you respond to this appeal? An essential part of your education here at Emmanuel has been the development of a deep critical sense, the nature of which is spelled out in the mission statement of the college, to shape new and alternative ways of perceiving, thinking, and creating, by bringing religious perspectives, ethical standards, and moral sensitivities to all endeavors. The faculty here has been intent on passing on to you a spirit, a sense of mission, committed to fostering much needed human rights, social justice, and world peace. To this end, they have provided you with the tools which will enable you to transform your culture. Graduates of 1995, receive your diploma today as a token of your commitment to live the gospel of life. Sadly, even the best of diplomas do not ensure access to meaningful employment. The experience of being turned down by potential employers is like a little death. In moments such as these, your own beliefs in the gospel of life may be shaken. Don't be discouraged. Continue to seek with courage and confidence, and with the tenacity of the pioneering students of 1919, the fulfillment of your dreams. This wet day in New England, trying to copy Scotland, is a significant one for me and for all sisters of Notre Dame, because each year on May the 13th, the Catholic Church honors Mary Rose Julie Villard, the foundress of the Sisters of Notre Dame, a French woman born in 1751. Her educational ideals prompted the founding of Emmanuel College 75 years ago, as well as many other educational ventures now established on 5 continents. The birth and death dates of Julie Villard hold significance in the early history of Emmanuel College. It was on April the 8th, 19 in the same year went into effect 60 days later on July the 12th, the birthday of St. Julie. And now, today, we celebrate the 75th anniversary of Emmanuel College and the 73rd commencement ceremony on the feast of St. Julie. What was the inspiration that Julie Villar's life and writings gave the founders of the college in 1919? What legacy does she pass on to you, graduates of today, leaving Emmanuel headed for life in the 21st century? What relevance does her life have for you today and for your teachers and for the Sisters of Notre Dame on the faculty? In her time, Julie Villar faced war and devastation, the breakdown of family life, moral decadence, materialism, and rationalism. She was personally threatened with death at the hands of the French revolutionaries, and she suffered from a paralyzing illness not understood at that time, and therefore wrongly treated. In a very true sense, she lived through a culture of death. But by committing herself and her first sisters to education, she initiated a culture of life. When Julie Villar talked about education, she could not find superlatives enough to describe it. She saw the work of education as sublime, thought it to be the greatest work on earth, and added he would have to be God himself to understand its greatness. So major a task it was for her that she insisted we cannot have anything petty or superficial in our work. The study of her letters and instructions revealed that her aim in education was twofold: envisaged the full depth development of the individual, but it reached out to society also, a renewal of family life through the training of women. It is by the education of the rising generation that we form Christian mothers, Christian families, and in the schools teach whatever is necessary to equip the students for life. Similar principles are expressed in the Code of Ethics of the Education Department here at Emmanuel College. I quote one of the declarations from the Code. As educators and teachers, we are committed to our students and to the education profession. We strive to help each student realize his or her potential as a worthy and effective member of society. From the time of the founder of Emmanuel College, Sister Helen Magdalene, to the current president, Sister Janet Eisner, the educational ideals of Julie Villar have been upheld and adapted to the needs of each generation. The liberal education envisaged by Sister Helen Magdalene in 1919 was to equip young Catholic women for life in a society where it was claimed that smartness was not becoming for a woman. Today's president aims at providing a strong and supportive campus where women and men are encouraged to believe in themselves. When it opened in September of 1919, there were, we are told, 27 earnest students. These were the forerunners of today's graduating class, and of the 13,000 graduates of Emmanuel to be found today in 50 states and in 34 foreign countries. The graduates of 1919, and perhaps even of the last 2 decades, would be amazed to see the changes taking place in the old buildings today. Emmanuel College has entered cyberspace, providing the best possible assignments, and also access to worldwide information via internet, both off-campus and on-campus, even in dorm rooms, offices, classrooms. Class of 95, you are being sent forth from Emmanuel to be the mentors, teachers, and parents of the new generation wired since birth who cruise the superhighway. You do not go alone or unprepared. In her convocation address on September 16, 1994, Patricia A. Cahill emphasized the importance of the alma mater, truly serving as a nourishing and nurturing mother to the young adults within her walls. Emmanuel College is for you a symbol both of mother and of child, since the name of the college came from the announcement of the birth of a very special child. The Lord, therefore, will give you a sign. It is this: the maiden is with child, and will soon give birth to a son she will call Emmanuel. That is, God with us. It was through the birth of a child that hope reminds us that joy and hope came into the world, and that birth reveals the full meaning of every human birth. Within the milieu, God is with us. You have lived your days as Emmanuel, and imbibe the richness of such a title. Nurtured by your alma mater, and rejoicing in the hope that comes from the birth of the child who transformed the world. Today, as you graduate, you cross an important threshold. As you do so, I exhort you to write yourselves into the history of your family, of Emmanuel, and of society by continuing to promote in all you do the culture of life. Send into cyberspace the message of the gospel of life, the good news that Emmanuel, God, is with us. Where I visited last year, where they celebrated 100 years of presence. And I have brought here a picture of a Zairian woman kneeling, and I wish to present it to the college. With her jar of water and her hoe, she's contemplating receptive, piquant, full of the promise of life. The Syrian woman kneeling represents any woman in the world, and I believe it is fitting that this picture should hang on the wall of the college dedicated to women's education in a multicultural milieu.
President of Emmanuel College, upon the recommendation of the faculty, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates who have fulfilled all the requirements for the degrees of Master of Arts in Educational and Pastoral Ministry, Master of Arts in Pastoral Counseling, Master of Arts in Human Resource Management, Master of Education in School Administration, Master of Education in Special Education Technology, Master of Education in Elementary Education, Master of Science in Health Service Administration. As these degrees are presented, we ask that the audience hold applause until all the master's degrees have been conferred, and then we will applaud the master's recipients all at once. You will notice as each one leaves the stage, the graduates will be given a rose by the members of the Emmanuel College Alumni Association. This rose symbolizes the graduate's entrance into a new place in the Emmanuel family, the Alumni Association. Will the candidates for the Master of Arts, Master of Education, and Master of Science please rise and come forward. I hereby confer upon you the degrees Master of Arts in Educational and Pastoral Ministry, Pastoral Counseling, Human Resource Management, Education and School Administration, Special Education Technology, Elementary Education, and Health Service Administration. Congratulations. Will the new Emmanuel College Master of Arts, Master of Education, and Master of Science recipients please rise for the turning of the tassel? Please change your tassel from the front to the back of the motorboat, and let us once more recognize the achievement of each. Sister Janet Eisner, upon the recommendation of the faculty, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates who have fulfilled all the requirements for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science. As these degrees are awarded, we request that the audience hold applause until all have been conferred, and we will applaud the recipients at once. Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degree please rise and come forward? please stand.